Hi guys, sorry. I guess there was some technical error. You guys were not able to hear me. I'm sorry about that. Is it working fine now? Can you hear me now? Perfect. Thanks for confirming. So really sorry about this one. Uh, all right. So I'll quickly take you guys through right from the beginning, right? So we were talking about the price recap for all the cryptocurrencies which has happened in the last 1 week, and looking at the prices currently, right? Bitcoin is more or less up like 7.41%, and Ethereum is up like 9.21% in the last 1 week. Okay, and talking about the Binance coin goes like 5.48%, Cardano is up 0.80%, and Solana is 25.34% up in the last 1 week. So all in all, the crypto market is in a very positive momentum, strong momentum since last 1 week, wherein Bitcoin and Ethereum, both has reached its all-time high and is struggling, yes, to break that even, but that is what we will cover in the price analysis later on. So jumping on to the topic of the day, which is the tool for the day today, which is the crypto wallets, right? So you have invested in cryptocurrencies, you are holding your cryptocurrencies in a cryptocurrency exchange, but there is much more that you can do with your cryptocurrency. You can move it from one place to another, you can take custody of it, you can use it for staking, you can use it for lending. So when you have to move your cryptocurrencies between between different projects, between different protocols, uh, you will need a consolidated place, or you'll need a place for hosting them, storing them at one particular place, right? So that is where a crypto wallet becomes really handy, or it comes really handy for you guys to use it. Right now, whenever you are using any crypto wallet, make sure that you always store your backup phrases and your backup keys securely, so that you do not you know if anything goes wrong, at least you do not lose access to your funds, is what the prime core of it. And even if you are using any wallet, be it a hardware wallet, be it a software wallet, hardware wallet are known as the pen drives or the hard drives, but any wallet that you are using, do always make sure that you always do some due diligence in order to make sure that it does provide you the necessary support which is needed for the cryptocurrency that you are going to hold, and the performance wise it is efficient and it serves your need, right? So that's what we going to do. And we talked about a couple of so when I was sharing it earlier through my screen, you guys were not able to see it, but I mean, you guys not what were not able to hear it, but what we were talking about is the wallets which are there in the market. So Exodus is a wallet. Mycelium is a popular wallet. Electrum is a popular wallet which is available. So these wallets are categorized into two. Are majorly they fall under two categories. Okay, one is called your hot wallet. Hot wallet is essentially a wallet which is connected with internet, which is there online, right? And the second one is called a cold wallet. A cold wallet is the one which you store offline, which wherein it is not connected with internet all the time. You only connect it when you have to send, or you just have to send your funds. Even for receiving funds, you do not have to take it online. Okay, and cold wallets are majorly or more or less commonly comes in the form of a pen drive or a hard disk. Okay, now that being said, I will quickly show you guys how a quick wallet setup looks like, and how a quick wallet what can you do on that. So I hope you guys can see my screen, right? So I've downloaded the Exodus wallet, and it's just the initial installation, the basic installation we have done, right? Nothing fancy on that front. Once you download and install it, it comes like this, wherein it shows you all the details around that. However, the most important thing that you have to look in a wallet, or the more only important thing you are looking for in a wallet is the option to send and receive your cryptos. Okay, so once you'll click on the top section here, which is says wallet, right? You get a list of all the cryptos which you can hold or accommodate in a particular in Exodus, right? For example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano, and any currency, particular currency that you have to transact into, you just have to select that, and then whatever, if it is a deposit that you are expecting, then you need to just click on receive. If it is a transaction that you are sending out, maybe to your friend, family, or on any other platform, then you just need to click on send, right? So for Bitcoin, sending is simply, the way it works is that you will simply paste the Bitcoin address where it has to go, and you will enter the amount, right? You will enter the amount of Bitcoin that you want to send, whatever it is, and you will click on the send option in order to send it. In order to receive your Bitcoins, there is this is your wallet address, which you can use in order to receive Bitcoin from an exchange or from any other platform, right? And definitely, when you are setting it up, always check out the settings in terms of the security and the backup which is available. So do create a backup always for your wallet. Do figure out I mean, most of the wallets, they prompt you with a backup at the moment when you install them and you are using them. But if not prompted, do check it out how by going into the settings, and do set up a backup for yourself. It contains a password. It will give you paper backup, which will be like a 12 or 15 words key string. Do save that up, so that even if something happens to your device, right, or you lose access to your wallet digitally, you can restore your wallet on another device and you can gain access to your cryptos. Okay, so that's on the backup and the security and the wallet front. Let's me just go back to Bitcoin and show you another thing. So I talked about the private keys, right? So this is really important. Whichever wallet that you choose in order to save your cryptos, do make sure that you get the private keys for that. Like, it provides you with the private keys for the asset you are going to hold. So for example, it's Bitcoin that you're going to store. When you have made, even if you have stored the backup phrase for your wallet, which is your Exodus wallet, do make sure that whatever funds you are storing, you save the private keys for those funds separately. Okay, so you can just simply click on your view private keys, and since this is a dummy account, I'm just going to show you guys what the private keys look like. And you will click on yes, I'm sure, and then it will show you your wallet address along with the private keys. Okay, and this private key, you need to secure it safely, so that even if you lose access to Exodus, to your wallet, to your laptop, anything, you can still access or restore your Bitcoins directly from the blockchain using this private key. Okay, so as long as you hold the private key, you hold your cryptos, right? Nobody can, I mean, it uh, it is always there in your custody. It is always there for you to trade and access. Okay, so now that being covered, let's now jump into the price analysis section for this week. And for this week price analysis, it's gonna be really, I mean, like, I am really excited because the price is in a tear. So let me just quickly again share my screen, and let's just jump on to the price analysis chart. Right here, okay. So here we have the Bitcoin US dollar chart. Okay, the chart which is what we are analyzing since last 2 weeks. When we checked it last week on 15th of September, so the last week we closed the candle at around close to 61,000. So let's just jump into the daily chart first, and then we'll come back to the weekly chart for Bitcoin. Right. Okay. So now, as you can see, we did some pre-analysis of price levels earlier in the last 2 weeks, and as we came to a conclusion that around 60,000 was like the level which was the ceiling that Bitcoin was not able to break. Right, there was fair level of resistance in the back in the month of April and March during this around this level. Okay, so what has happened or what has changed since then? So if you look at the candle which closed on 15th of October, which was our last session, right? Our last analysis, you will see that the last candle, it was like a really strong move, a very strong candle, uh, above breaking above the resistance, okay, breaking above the resistance and closing above the resistance of 60,000 ceiling, right? And from there the price went up till 66,000, and then we are seeing a little bit of correction since yesterday, uh, which the price fell down till 62,000 from a level of 66,000 dollar per Bitcoin, right? So a couple of things to pay attention to on the daily chart here. So first thing first, if you look at the divergence from MA, right? I mean, yeah, there is quite a divergence from MA, but that being said, Bitcoin can, just spend some time in the same range sideways and consolidate till the time it brings his moving average up, right? So that is there is a fair amount of sideways movement that can build up here, because looking at the RSI as well, if you check out the RSI here, let me just zoom this out, right? If you check out the RSI as well, the RSI is not pretty much overheated at the moment. Okay, right. The RSI is not pretty much heated over at the moment, as in it is not in the extreme zone. So as long as Bitcoin consolidates sideways for a couple of days before moving forward, it seems like a healthy correction from 60,000 to 62,000, and we can move forward. However, this is simply looking at the daily chart, right? And this is a trajectory, or this is a place wherein the price is in an open field. Okay, so whenever you break above the previous price level and you come into a level wherein you have to perform a price discovery, as in how high the price can be go. The price is an open territory, right? Then the price can go up to any limit, in the sense of percentage movement, maybe 1x, 2x, 3x, or it can be rejected at any particular level, right? So it becomes really hard to identify what that rejection or how high it can go. But what we can do in order to do analyze that is jump into the weekly chart and start analyzing the weekly momentum of Bitcoin. Okay, now if you look at the weekly chart, right? So Bitcoin is fairly above the ceiling of $60,000 resistance, right? The candle is broken above it, uh, and is fairly trading above that level nicely, right? Now, looking at the RSI as well, there is no extreme signal in the RSI, as the RSI is pretty normal at the moment. There is no extremity here. But during such, when we are in a zone wherein, we don't have any past data available, we have to look at we do not have any future data available or anything to look forward to, that what that next level may be, right? How will can you identify the next level or the momentum that will happen is by looking at the past data, right? So if you'll quickly jump into what Bitcoin has done whenever it has broken, above a level in the past. So if you look at it, this was the previous all-time high for Bitcoin, which was around $20,000 back in 2018, right? And when Bitcoin reached the same level back in November 2020, right, it traded sideways for at least like 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks before heading forward, right? So through the sideways movement, what Bitcoin does is it brings its moving average to get closer, right? Gathers some more momentum and steam to push forward, right? So that's one possibility that we can see here. that if Bitcoin doesn't if Bitcoin doesn't move forward straight away from next week onwards, there can be a sideways momentum building for at least a week or two, and then we push forward, as long as this is not a false breakout. And for a false breakout, I guess it the maximum that it will take is by next week. If by next week we tend to manage to stay above $60,000 dollar level, which is a ceiling Bitcoin has broken, then we are definitely in a very positive forward momentum. Okay, so sideways momentum is one thing that you have to look at, and the second thing that you can check, that if Bitcoin moves forward from here, then how high that it can actually go, right? So all you can do is you can look at the last 3 weeks momentum in terms of like percentage, how much percentage the Bitcoin price is moving every week, and you can just make an average out of that. Okay, and that can give you a fair idea of how much to an extent you can look for Bitcoin to move in the next week if it goes forward, right? So if you look at it, there is nothing that anything special that I'm doing. So if you look at the last 3 weeks, Bitcoin has taken on average like a 13 to 16% momentum every week. And even if this week's candle you look at it, it's a 10% movement up and down in both direction, right? So if Bitcoin has to, even if it starts from the current range of 63,749, and if you calculate a 13%, 10, 13, 12, 13% upside, then yes, 70,000 Bitcoin per Bitcoin is a fair level that we can see in the upward direction. If the momentum goes downwards, then using the same average of, let's say, a 12, 13% drop, it can be at around 56,000 or $57,000 range, right? So there is, whenever you are analyzing your weeks, right, always take the upside and the downside in your consideration. And that concludes the Bitcoin analysis. So for the next 1 week, either we'll see sideways movement or Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin holds above $60,000 range, the positive momentum will continue or shall continue. Okay. Now jumping on to the Ethereum price, if you look at it, it more or less looks like the same as the Bitcoin chart, right? Ethereum as well has broken above the previous level of $4,000 range, and it is trading fairly above $4,142. If you look at the RSI, it is not pretty heated. If we'll jump into the daily chart, then as well, uh, let's see what the daily chart shows us. So yeah, perfect. So Ethereum again, yeah, even Ethereum has broken above this resistance of $4,000 if you look at it on 20th October. Okay, so Bitcoin broke above its resistance on 15th of October. Ethereum followed it 5 days later. If you look at it from 15th of October till 20th, till 19th of October, Ethereum was simply trading sideways. It didn't go anywhere. The movement is literally sideways, right? And then Ethereum broke above $4,000 resistance on 20th of October, 2 days back, and is maintaining slightly strongly above that, right? So as long as Ethereum holds this particular level, again, the same strategy you can apply. You can check out the last 3 weeks or last 4 weeks moment for Ethereum, calculate the average for that, and you can figure out that how much Ethereum can move in the next 1 week or so. For the downside, it more or less should be the same, but the downside won't come until unless we break $4,000 mark. Okay. On the Ethereum chart, again, as well, similar to Bitcoin, we can go sideways, and when we are moving sideways, that means we are simply testing the $4,000 level on Ethereum and $60,000 level around 60,000 level on Bitcoin. And as soon as that, as long as that testing is remains positive, the market momentum will also stay positive, right? And that concludes the price analysis piece for this week, and we'll quickly jump on to a couple of developments that have happened in the market in the last 1 week, right? And to begin with, there is an update from FATF, which is the Financial Action Task Force, and they are going to publish crypto anti-money laundering guidance next week. Right now, why this is important? Right, so the reason this is important is because we are talking about regulations and policies for quite some time, and when we talk about that, it is always, most of the time, it is cloudy. There is no clear picture as in what is happening right in the market, where it's going to go. So any news, any update that comes from at least the legit institutions or the high ranking institutions and the governing bodies, it takes you in a positive direction and gives you the picture around what is happening in the market. Okay, so look, jumping into this particular piece of financial task force, just let me pull it out quick, real quick. Right. Okay. Yeah. So hope you guys can see that. So the key highlights of this particular draft is that when we are in a very hyperbolic growth stage when it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrencies, right? It's not just in terms of prices, things are moving upward, right? It is in terms of the opportunities, in terms of growth, new projects coming in, new ideas coming in, new workforce, right? There are a lot of opportunities in terms of employment and of doing coming up with your own startup and all those cool ideas which are there in the blockchain industry. So regulation becomes a key aspect or ingredient. So the guidance basically explains that how FATF standards or the Financial Task Force standards apply to stable coins. Right? We have spoken about this. We have discussed about this in the last two sessions as well. How stable coins, CBDCs, and DeFi is going to play quite an important role in the blockchain and the cryptocurrency industry going forward, right? So the guidelines is when it comes to curbing down on any illicit activity in the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry, the standards will apply to stable coins, and that'll be a great positive that will bring a great positive impact in the cryptocurrency industry, especially given all, if not all, at least some of the negative news that you may have seen around stable coins in the last month or so, right? So that brings more clarity and more legitimacy. Now, similarly, and I think the last 1 week was the week of regulations and policy around the globe. Right now, if talking about the next news which is there in the market, which has happened, is that Ghana, right, which is a country in the in the African continent, right? They are planning to adopt, or they are going to at least trying to pilot a CBDC batch, right? So again, time and again, a lot of positive news happening on the regulation and the development and on cryptos. So Ghana Central Bank working to make CBDC available to offline users. Right now, why this is important is that, see, the key ingredient of all these CBDCs experiment which are happening throughout multiple countries is that they more or less adopt a part of a blockchain technology, be it a private blockchain, right, that they adopt and they work upon. But blockchain is the, it is serving as the core infrastructure or base layer in most, if not all, of the experiments around the CBDCs which are happening throughout the globe, right? So it is a very great initiative, right? So it is expected to, facilitate transaction without the need for power or connectivity. I mean, that is a really great use case, and it'll be really interesting. So they are working on ECDI, right? ECDI is what it is called, the central bank digital currency of by Bank of Ghana, right? And more and more central banks that adopt that. So as we have discussed in the past, right, CBDCs will take care or will look after the traditional institutions and the centralized institution and the financial system which is there in play, but to connect it with the decentralized economy or the blockchain economy, the DeFi products will come into picture, or the stable coins which are regulated, and they follow the FATF guidelines and adhere to that. They will become the bridge between the blockchain and the traditional finance industry and the blockchain industry. On the similar lines, again, Iran is also working to pilot national cryptocurrency uh, experiment. So they are piloting their own sovereign digital currency, and the pilot trial will start once the Money and Credit Council approves it. And if as I mentioned, right, so these CBDC prototypes, right, they all are happening on, if not all, most of them are happening on a blockchain platforms, right? So for talking about Iran's, right, they are designing it using the Hyperledger Fabric platform, right? And unlike cryptocurrencies based on public blockchains such as Bitcoin, the Iranian state-issued coin is not going to be mined. It's going to be based on a private blockchain. So Hyperledger Fabric platform, it's an infrastructure layer that you can use in order to prototype your experiments on blockchains, and that is what they are going to use. So again, more and more governments and countries picking up the CBDC as an experiment on a trial basis, on a pilot basis, tells you the application of blockchain, or gives you a picture or an idea of the application of blockchain on uh, the bigger global scale. Last but not the least is Walmart shoppers can now buy Bitcoin in over 200 plus locations. Right now, you might be thinking, why is it important to me, right? Important to me in the sense, like, being in India, we don't even have Walmarts wherein you can go and you can be like, you are looking for a Bitcoin ATM in specific to buy or purchase anything as such, right? But the reason this news is important coming out is because now imagine over 200 locations in a retail store, there is a direct access to buy Bitcoin or withdraw Bitcoin directly with a really large population, right? So Walmart has introduces like 200 Bitcoin kiosk at US stores, right? So US, again, being the leading financial hub or market for the entire globe, right? Bring in a lot of retail traction to the Bitcoin market, which means that as long as the adoption is growing, right, and more users are coming into the market, the momentum seems to keep on going in a positive direction, right? So that's all on the news front. We are really sorry about the issue that happened earlier on the sound front. But thank you all for sticking around and for taking you guys through the updates on the crypto wallets, how to use the crypto wallet, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum price movement, and what is happening in the crypto market in general. right? So thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week, Friday at 6 p.m. Have a great weekend and enjoy your evening.